Mr. Kung, I pass the time over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. PARKROYAL Collection Pickering, Singapore is a lifestyle luxury hotels near to Chinatown. Anyone who passed by our building, you recognize us. So we are talking about guest recognition, and many times we are able to recognize guests when we have a lot of interaction with them. But upon arrival, how are we going to make sure that we are able to recognize the guest by just family name? We would like to look at a integrated end-to-end guest recognition AI that at the critical touch points, example, when you arrive in the reception, we are able to greet you by your family names to improve guest experience. So that's our first open innovation challenge statement. Next slide, please. So at many times, next slide, please. And many times, our guest length of stay is about 2.2, 2.5 days. They are very transient. So we have like 150 rooms check-in and 150 rooms check-out each day. In-house guests, we have ranging from 400 to 500 people. We have a lot of transient guests that we are not able to have the institution memories to greet the guests by name. So it's very traditional. We identify by using passport, ID, human memories. We are able to recognize the guests if the guests stay with us for a longer period of time, but because they are so transient, we want to have a AI solution that build institution memory to recognize them. So we have about 125 software solutions. There are a few key ones, which is our Opera PMS, our passport scanner, and mobile check-in. So how are we going to capture the data from all these source of operating solutions that we can able to pull and able to trigger the recognition to the guests. Next slide, please. So in terms of accuracy of facial recognition, how are we going to be able to do real-time identification of guests by family name? Cybersecurity, data privacy is key to us. So one of the key is how are we going to tokenize the data to make sure that we have this cyber security data privacy in place. There'll be a few integration of the system. One is the Opera PMS that we're able to capture family name. How are we going to take the photographs from the passport scanner? How are we going to get the passport photographs from our mobile check-in? So there are a few data points that we are able to pull the data, tokenize them at the back. How are we going to use cameras to be able to do facial recognition and send the family name information to our reception or even at our restaurants? We have about 50 plus hotels globally. So if we can do this project, you'll be able to scalable to the Pan Pacific Hotels Group or even in Singapore. So we are looking at phase one. How are you going to appear the family names onto the desktop or even in a tablet? How are we going to expand it to different touch points? How are we going to make it a lot more cost effectiveness that we can scale towards globally within Pan Pacific Hotels Group? Next slide, please. These are all the touch points that we are looking at phase one and phase two. Eventually, it will be phase three and phase four. So the phase one is at the counters where you have the desktop. So example, the concierge, reception, and the breakfast counter where you arrive on during breakfast. So the phase two is how are we going to expand it to the driveway, to the lobby, to the center point, and the bar and the restaurants. So phase three will then be a club lounge up in the 16th floor, and phase 3 will then be spa and wellness. So we want to do it into few phases to scale it from reception to the lobby, eventually to the other facilities.